Hello, welcome back. This is Rod, and this is part two of the login YouTube video. If you were able to watch part one, we created a login system that I learned at Codify Academy, where the user entered in a username and a password and clicked the button, and the function searched the entire array there to check and compare the username and password that it matched. And it went through this for loop here, and if it didn't match, it said you were successfully logged in, and if it was incorrect, it would say invalid username or password. Please try again. So let's make sure that's still working, and here is the form, and one of the users was Michael and his password was 3. Oops, and so now we got to go into the inspect and the Google developer tool made for Chrome, and it says, Michael, you have successfully logged in. And if you accidentally typed in the wrong password, it would say invalid username or password. Please try again. So that is still working, which is great. So now let's do the other part of the assignment. And the other part says create a function that registered a new user on the previous login application. Test to ensure that the username is not already taken and that the password is at least 8 characters. So if you're a student like me and you'd like to try to code this on your own, stop the video now and try to code it, and then press play when you think you've got it, or if you have any questions, and we can work it together at that point. So go ahead and pause it now if you want, and if not, let's go ahead and just continue. So what I can do is I can just copy and paste this entire form here, but then we have to modify it. Instead of login form, it's going to be register form. And yeah, I guess last time we used this form, we had a function name of get info instead of login, but we changed that to make it more descriptive. So if you're used to seeing get info there, that question might come up. We decided to change that. And here, instead of login, it's a new form, and we're going to call it register. And we have to register a new username or a new user. So I'll call that new user because it's descriptive. And new password. I believe camel case is the best practice there, so we're using camel case. And instead of login, we're going to say register user. And register. Save that. So there should be a new form there now next to the old one. There it is, register. And that's what we're going to use. All right, so we're done with that part. So now let's do the JavaScript part, the fun part. It says create a function that registers a new user to previous application. Test to ensure the username is not already taken and has at least 8 characters. So we can basically, like we copied over here, we can copy this too and modify it just like we did on the other one. Instead of new username, we're going to give it a new variable name because it's more descriptive. You can say register user. And we're going to get the element by ID, and the ID that we're getting is this one right here. And the name is new user, so we're going to put new user right here. Same with the password here. Instead of password, it's going to be register password. And we're going to get the element by ID, and this is the ID we're getting here. So we're going to get new password. So we're pulling it over to the Java side, so to speak. All right, so that part is done. And now we're going to create an array, not an array, I'm sorry, another item for the array. And we're going to call it new user. has to match the array up here for username and password. So we have to take that username and password. And what we're going to put for username, we're not going to put new user there. We're going to put the variable we created here, which is registered user, comma, and a register password. Oop. Oop. Guess it didn't copy. Save it. Okay, and this is the actual thing, the variable that we're going to actually push into the object people. So when they click the register button, this is going to get pushed to that. All right, so we're done with that part. The next part is the for loop. So let's do the for loop. I guess best practice would be, we should indent some of the stuff here to make it more readable. All right. Actually, this can probably go back to where it was. What was this? Okay, this is just to make it more readable, nicer looking. All right, so now for the for loop, we're going to go for, and we're going to say I equals 0. And then we're going to say I is less than object people dot length. And then I plus plus. And the reason we're using the dot length is because we're still working with this object people array, so we're calling object people dot length. So it'll loop through the array. And then we're going to say the if statement, and basically if the username is already taken, we wanted to say so if register user is equals to the object people username, I dot username, we want a message to say alert that username is already taken. And you want to put the return item there, so the function will stop right there and it doesn't continue to loop. All right. And then you can say the next part says it must be at least 8 characters long. So you can say else if, and it has to say register password dot length is less than 8. You want to say alert password must be 8 characters or more. And you also want the function to stop right there if that happens, so you hit return. So notice right here we use the register password dot length, and over here we didn't. And this is specifically because we're talking about the length of the password. It has to be less, if it's less than 8 characters, and then they get this alert. All right. And the next thing we're going to do, the last thing we're going to do is we have to push this whole item into the array. So we got all the rules situated. Everything is done there with the rules. So now we have to say object people dot how to get down there dot push, and what we're pushing is the new user. So notice this is the first time we've used the new user, except for the time we put it here and we pulled it from over here. So this entire time we've been using register user and register password. So for the last one we used new user. And just to see if it works, we want a console.login. We want a console.log to object people array, just to see if it works. So I just saw one of my errors here. I forgot to change the function name. The function name should be register user, not login. So that would have messed everything up. And let me see if I can see any more errors. Did I make any errors? Do you see any errors that I made? All right, as far as I can tell, that looks good. And let's go ahead and test it out now. So let's refresh this. And oh, there's a syntax error on line 39. 39. Bar new user. So maybe it doesn't like the fact that it's indented. I don't know. Bar new variable. Oh, equal sign should be on this side. Yeah, this is the debugging part. Okay. And let me see if it likes that a little better now. Let me try it again. Okay, no more errors. Good. So there was two rules. One of them was that you can't use the same username. So let's try to use Michael. And Michael 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the page says the username is already taken. Okay, good. So you can't use Michael. So that part of it works. So we got a new employee today. His name is Rod, and he's going to be working in our front-end development department. And he's registering his new login, and he chose password 4. And he clicked register. It says, oh, the password must be 8 characters or more. So both of the rules are working there. So Ralph says, okay, that's fine. I understand that. I'm going to use 14 then, and that's 8 characters. And I click register. And look what happened now. Now there is a new person in the array. His name is Rod, and his password is new password. That's not right. Let's see what's going on. All right, so let's see what's going on with that. So let's take a look at the code again here. Okay, so yeah, it looks like instead of new password, I put rather instead of register password, I put new password there. So put register password instead because it needs to match this right here. It needs to match. All right, so let's see if that fixed it. So Rod 14, username is already taken. You want let's refresh it so it'll completely erase everything. Okay, so now there is a new user. His name is Rod and his password is 14. So that part is working. All right, so now if Rod were to log in with password 14, he would get a message that says, Rod, you have successfully logged in. And if Rod accidentally entered the wrong password, let's say he entered 15 instead of 14, it would say invalid username or password. So it seems to be working, and basically, what we did is we just expanded on the login system that we had created earlier, and you can register, and basically this whole new user got pushed into this array now. This is Rod, and just want to thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my code if you want to. I have it on GitHub, and this is the login system code. My login name is whatever 1968. This is me. And these are my repositories, and if you want to look at the code, it's right here. All right, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.